Minasan, konnichiwa! Of course, we are here for the review of Pokemon Episode 11. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss another video. Let's get cracking on with the video! We start this episode off with Liko outside Dot's room. It seems like Liko has figured out Dot's secret, though we all know that Dot is Gurumin. And of course, Liko says, "You're a huge super fan of Gurumin," and even Dot is going, you still haven't figured it out? Really? And Dot was so close to telling Liko that she was Gurumin. We then see Mollie, who's on the phone. It seems like she's on the phone to her family, who are worried about her. In this episode, we learn more about Mollie as well, which is cool. Of course, we want to learn more about the Rising Voltacular members. Mollie looks up the forest that Brassius mentioned, and it looks like it's been burned down. Nimona brings Liko, Roy, and Mollie to the forest, and yes, the forest has been burnt down, but Nimona lets them know that there is actually more green across the hill, so the whole forest itself hasn't been burnt down. Nimona bids them a farewell, so for now she's out of the anime. Will she be coming back? How soon will she be coming back? We need a battle freak, don't we? We go back to the airship, and Freak seems to be worried about a woman called Miss Luca. Now, I was thinking maybe Liko's mother, but he said Miss Luca. He didn't say Mrs. Luca. Unless Alex and Miss Luca aren't married, or maybe it's just a different person altogether. Also, on a side note, don't Ludlow and Rampa kind of look alike? Besides one being a human and another being a Pokemon. Is Ludlow actually Drampa? Or is it just coincidence? Is he a super fan of Drampa? The one and only super fan? When they reach the green, Roy runs off and says if they get lost, they will meet them by the giant tree. We go back to Liko and Mollie, who are talking. Mollie talks about how she had her life path set out for her, because she came from a long line of Pokemon doctors. Shocker! The Chansey and all the pink doesn't really, give it away, does it at all, that she may have actually meant to be called Joy instead, possibly. Sprigatito discovers some orange berries, and Liko follows and collects some and follows Sprigatito to the rest of the orange berries and gets lost. So what does she do? She heads to the big tree. As she's walking to the big tree, it starts to sway. Doesn't seem like it's a very windy day, and especially for a big tree like that to sway, it would have to be like a tornado. On the way to the tree, Liko and Sprigatito come across a very injured Wooper. Trying to help the Wooper, however, 3 Pokemon come along and stop them and take Wooper away. Where are they heading? Well, they're heading to the same place Liko was, the big tree! Once there, Liko tries to help again, but Mollie swoops in as the Pokemon are stopping Liko again. Mollie explains more about her life and that she quit the Pokemon Center because she knew that wild Pokemon were out here getting injured and no one was taking care of them. They weren't being brought into the Pokemon Center. The giant tree starts to move again, and the reason it's moving is because it's not a tree, it is a Arboliva! And who just happens to be on the Arboliva? Yep, that's right, it's Roy. And on this Arboliva, up near its neck, seems to be another ancient monster ball. Arboliva knocks Roy and Fuecoco off his chest and starts attacking Roy and Liko. Of course, Roy and Liko fight back and bring the Arboliva down to its knees. It's still angry, it's still ready to go. But the injured Wooper comes over and explains to Arboliva that, well, they were trying to help me. That's what I understand it to be, as Arboliva reaches out its branch to Mollie as a thank you for saving Wooper. It then lifts up Liko and Roy up very, very high and pretty much shows them the absolute damage that the forest has went through. The fire wiped out a lot of this. And that's where the episode ends, but what caused this fire? Who caused this fire? Was it Rayquaza? Was it on purpose? Was it by accident? Was it the explorers trying to get to Rayquaza? Hopefully in episode 12 we will get more answers. And hopefully down the line as well we learn more about the Rising Volt Tacklers group altogether. Hopefully each one gets a bit told in each episode. I would even like in the next episode we learn a bit more about Mollie again. That is it from me, BDB. Matane!